What is up, guys? So in the previous video I've talked about how the ZennBot did overall for the first half of year 2026, and as I've mentioned in that video, during the month of February lots of users have experienced quite a huge loss, which I would like to talk about in this video so you would stay informed and do your own discretions and all of that stuff. So without further ado, let's jump back onto my screen and let's see what happened in Discord. I'm gonna run you guys through the announcement section of the Discord channel. I'm gonna show you guys what did admin wrote for everybody, how did he react, and all the things that he done to prevent this type of accident for his users to ever occurring again. So let's jump back to my screen and let's check it out. So this beautiful morning of February 24th, 2026, all of us woke up and all of us were surprised to see that in our MetaTrader trading history we've experienced quite a huge amounts of losses. So naturally I took my phone and went to the Discord channel to check it out, and here's what I saw. So this is the end of January. They were chatting, solving some Chrome extension problems for their new package or whatever. However, if we scroll down a bit, right here on February 23rd, the admin says to everyone, "I am aware of what happened. I have no clue as to why or how. I'm on it, the team are on it, head about to lose all the hair at the moment. I'm on it." Now guys, the chat went crazy, and honestly lots of people lost their money, including of course me, and at that moment nobody knew what happened, but I checked out the comment section of this channel and the audience was going crazy. Some of them were still holding a faith in the admin, other people had just quit, and they were blaming the admin while they were at it, so I could imagine the stress the admin went through over that course of the week. Now, half hour later, the admin made a statement for everybody. He acknowledged that lots of people took the loss. He also mentioned that they have began the investigation. From the get-go, they suspected the copier, the fast broker slippages, but they weren't sure what was happening. And he told us that we will hear from him soon. So I waited in the anticipation, while others have chosen just to quit. Now guys, before we continue, keep in mind this is trading. There's always a risk on the table. And especially if you choose to copy somebody or certain somebody else, there's always a chance that some kind of a code or script or tech anomaly might occur against you and you would lose money. So that's what happened right here, so let's move on. Now if you follow down this conversation, they assure that their team is looking into this issue. For some context, they rely on external services to provide the copy trade and protect your account with their equity protector. And on top of that, the master account did not close any loss today, so everybody who copied that day experienced loss except for the master account. 1 hour later, the admin had some balls to do the Zoom call for everybody so everyone could join so they can talk about it, which I'll admit it takes huge amounts of balls. I'll give him that. But it was too late for my time in this time zone, so I could not attend that Zoom meeting. I had no idea what happened in there. I was shocked for the day of experiencing a loss, so I just wanted to be not around that whole stuff for the day. Okay, so the next message in the conversation was just basically some minor updates of what had happened. It was, I think, the next day, 16:30 p.m. He, of course, first of all thanked everyone for their patience while they were conducting the full review, and they have made apparently this announcement to show the full transparency. So let's see. Here's how they basically handled the situation. They have downloaded the full data, and yes, they had stopped the affected accounts for the time being until they can get to the bottom of this whole thing. Then they have began the talks about reimbursements and compensations through maybe smaller reimbursement allocations and subscription adjustments or some other combinations of measures. In addition, they claim to have added some additional infrastructure upgrades, including strengthening their risk architecture, additionally monitoring their safeguards and layers, all of that to ensure that this would never happen again. And as you can see, this is the main announcement tab. The whole message has quite a bit of a engagement right here. So this engagement at the very least means that people still have faith in the admin called Arvind or whatever his name is. But yes, on top of that, lots of people canceled their subscriptions because they thought the ZennBot wasn't safe. As for what I think, I'll tell you in the end of this video. Let's continue. Okay, so now a few days later, on February 27th, they have added a minor update. So they basically told us that the whole team were basically spending the whole week crunching numbers. They've also let everyone to be noted that not everyone was affected, but those who were will be basically getting a solution to be put forward for reimbursement or whatever. Well, they have acknowledged that this week was tough and basically asked people to stop spamming their support channels because they basically cannot just handle everyone at the same time. Now, if we scroll downwards a bit, here again as well on February 27th, 20:30 p.m. This is the solution they have put forward. So basically this whole fiasco had around 50% of people affected, including me. Some worse than the others. I'm not sure where this puts me, in which bracket. But the solution has been outlined in the details on the PDF, which I will download, and I will add this in the comment section. I don't know, maybe via my Outlook or Google Drive or wherever. I'll just link it down for you, you can read it. So they basically have allocated 130k out of their own pockets to reimburse those people who were affected. So they basically claiming to have been compensating 10% of lost funds of the equity for each client. Additionally, free zero add-on for 2 months. Remember, this costs around $15 a month or whatever. And well, this is of course not necessary sentence, but they have added this anyway. Now guys, before the resolution of this whole video, we can quickly glance at the PDF I've just downloaded. It's of course not necessary. I'm gonna link it down for you guys anyway. So this is what it's called, the document Zero Post-mortem. So it basically explains what happened. It also talks about a bit how the algorithm is working. Also, it shows how this losing trade looked on charts. Now, I'm not gonna read the whole PDF right here as that would take time. They basically also answering the question, how did this happen? You should just go ahead and read it. They of course also talking about the downsides of copy trading, which I've said quite a bit in my previous videos, and in this one, that the copy trading also comes with risks. They also talk about the implements that they are doing regarding the increased safety and fund allocations and everything, that the whole safeguard upgrades or whatever. And this last part of the document basically again says that how they are going to reimburse the clients, which we have covered from the post. Now, overall, the reimbursement wasn't that impressive. I've checked and it was, I think, $18 or whatever. So that is by far not the 10% of the lost money. I think they have calculated the zero subscription or whatever, but my reimbursement was 18 bucks. Now, as I've promised, we are getting at the end of the video. Now I will answer the question you may be asking yourself, what do I think about this whole scenario? Now guys, honestly, I've been around in many workplaces. I'm guessing so have you. And we've all dealt with the toxic higher-ups or managers or whatever. And some things always happen in your workplace, and then you have to explain to your higher-ups, which they have no idea how this certain thing that you are working on works in the first place, and they are basically just giving you shit for just screwing something up which was completely outside of your hands. So the way I'm seeing this scenario is exactly what has happened. Sure, I mean, the anomaly was there, lots of people were affected, lots of money were lost, sure, but this ZennBot is basically about 1.5 years old. And other than this whole fiasco, the overall performance of it was for me quite impressive. And as they have mentioned themselves, they are outsourcing a third-party copy trading sort of a software, which they of course have to protect against the subscription models so the customers wouldn't cheat. They also have to connect it through the brokers. They also have to connect your broker through the main grid, so the copying of the trades is being executed correctly. So there's lots of moving parts, I guess, in their system, so it's natural that this certain anomaly have occurred, and then the people were affected. But I guess the question we should be asking right now is not whether the ZennBot Zero is a scam or not. The question we should be asking ourselves, how did this admin handle things, I guess. Honestly, I'm quite impressed with the way he handled this thing. He stood there like a man, took everything, took the responsibility. I mean, sure, I get it. The whole week for him was extremely stressful and painful, as you've seen in the messages of the announcement channels, that he had put his life work into this and he was not going to give up that easily. I mean, I believe it. I mean, there's enough info for me to believe it. Everything that he did is actually quite transparent at this point still, so I mean, why not give it another chance for the whole ZennBot and the admin named Arvin or whatever. The overall point is just to realize that trading comes with a risk, copy trading comes with a risk. There is a human part of trading, there is a algorithm part of trading, so there's not a one single answer which is better and which is safe. Everything is risky. You just gotta either go and do something about it, or just keep your money in your pocket and just play it safe. Now we are getting at the end of this video. I'm getting pretty tired right now. I'm gonna tell you the plan for the next week. So in the previous week we had a ZennBot to make a one single trade which was profitable. Then in the midweek I've increased my multiplier from I think 1.5x to 4x. Let me show you right now. Now don't mind all of this red. This dashboard includes every trade that I've made. Here, as you can see, I'm going to show you up front on May 20th. 4 days ago I made myself a bad trade and lost this much. This wasn't ZennBot Zero, this was me. I was looking at the charts, I was seeing the gold dropping, I was looking at the volume profile, I was seeing the overall market entropy way above the price. I was also seeing below the price not a single historical order over the past few cycles. I was watching the momentum of the SQZ momentum indicator, and it was going up bearish right here in the overall 2-hour window candle. So I've took a trade, and I was going to enter a buy limit trade, exit somewhere here, but as you can see, the institutions and banks kept on driving the price back down a bit to just liquidation hunting, and I just basically got not stopped out but protected by broker, if you will, just because I've entered in a zone of a half of capital drawdown. So this trade was my fault, not a ZennBot Zeros, but regarding the overall multiplier. So if we go to, this is our dashboard, if we go to settings and we go to the copier settings, as you can see, I have my multiplier set for the upcoming week for the 4x. On the previous week I had 1.5x, right now I have 4x. And we will see what the next week delivers. Also on next week I plan to launch additional ZennBot Zero product. I guess it will be a ZennBot Force. I also want to try out the ZennBot Echo and all of the other ZennBot products. The Zero is the main one. They have additional products such as Echo or Force, so I cannot wait to try all of them. I'll make sure to make a video about it, at least maybe introductionary video or how to set it up, but I don't think it's necessary because the tutorial is quite self-explanatory. I don't think I want to get into too many details of how to set that whole thing up, but I don't know, I'll see. Regarding this week's trade, I will let you know in the next video. I want to have my channel to have at least 150 videos, so I'll just keep my mouth shut for this video. I'll show you in the next one. Overall guys, I really hope this video was informative for you. It's really a shame that we had to take a loss back in February. Lots of people have quit, lots of people have stayed. I personally decided to stay and give a ZennBot Zero another chance. And yes, these types of things happen, especially if you copy trade, so keep in mind, again, there's always a risk involved. So don't be really surprised if things go against you, just the game. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope it was informative for you and helped you make any type of a decision. Always trade safely, always use the capital that you can afford to lose, and win your battles. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.